This is Doofy McButterscotch, and we have returned to Morgan Freeman's list because I just recently watched Amistad. What was that about? Well, it's a slave movie. It starts off with Djamon Hounsou, which is a famous African actor. You may or may not have heard of him. But he gets trapped on this one ship called the Amistad, officially called La Amistad in the movie. And he and a whole bunch of other slaves break out of their cells, and they murder a whole bunch of the crew members who were holding them captive. And what they wanted they left a couple of dudes alive, but they wanted them alive so they could bring them back to Africa, but of course they didn't do that. They took them into America, where they were thrown into jail and detained there for a little while, and then the whole story began. The story of, it was a courtroom situation. It's a little different since it's in the 1800s and not in the present day for court movies. It's got Matthew McConaughey as the main courtroom dude. It's got Anthony Hopkins, who plays John Quincy Adams, who helps out near the end of the movie because they have to go through quite a few cases. They have one judge who they go through, then the bad guys replace that judge with a younger, more naive judge who also rules in the favor of the slaves, and then they finally take it to the Supreme Court, and that's where Anthony Hopkins comes in for the save. And yeah, it's most of the time the Djamon Hounsou guy doesn't really speak that much English in here. He plays the authentic African role, and there's got a handful of other people. I mean, Morgan Freeman is in it. He just doesn't really play too huge of a role, even though he's the first person listed in the introduction sequence. Morgan Freeman's the first one, so he's got a bit of an ego on that one. He didn't play too big of a role. Not that big of a role. And it's got a lot of other different characters, but it was a very decent slave movie, very moving. It makes you hate the South all over again. It makes you feel sorry for the slaves and all, and it wins you over. And it's a very compelling story, very good, very well done, and it was just a good movie. Held my interest. Some of these movies that I watch, I have to watch them in like 6 different parts, but this one I could watch in like just like 2, because it was a good movie. But anyway, that's Amistad. We will return to the regular lists here in a little bit. See you later.